Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Pat yourself on the back. You made it to Friday. You almost gave up last Wednesday, but you hung in there. We're so glad you did. This is New Life Live. I'm your host, Brian Perez, and licensed marriage and family therapist Chris Williams is with us again. Hi, Chris.
Hi, good to be here.
Great to have you here. And we've got the one and only Dr. Jill Hubbard, clinical psychologist extraordinaire. Tell us, Jill, the world awaits. What is on your mind?
Well, hi everyone. Hi guys. I wanted to touch on the topic of friendships today, and it's a big topic, I know, but kind of the idea of rupture and repair in friendships. We have so many people that call about their friendships. Of course, lots of people call about their marriage and their families, but friendships are really a lifeline for all of us and are such an important part of life. And I can speak a little bit more about female friendships, Chris, but I think for all people, even if you have a good marriage, if you have a supportive family, even if your family, are friends, you still need those outside friendships. And we've talked even last time we were together about how the family that you choose is so important. So, and when you are in friendships actually start similar to how dating relationships start, in that in the beginning it's exciting and there's almost an infatuation, obviously non-sexual, but an infatuation with your friends. And then after a while, and let me just say in the beginning, it's all the things we have in common. Right? We're so alike. Chris, we have so many things we like. And then you hit a period of where it's like, oh, this person is also different from me. Yeah. And I don't like some of the things about them. And so I often find and Chris, maybe you have an experience with men, but with women, a lot of times people will just kind of like fade away or they won't say anything. Yeah. And are often in our friendships, we treat them differently than we do family. And that's a good thing, because if you treat your friends like some of you treat your family, then you would have no friends. But we kind of show more restraint in our friendships. And I've noticed that there is a fear, especially amongst women, to say anything, to bring something up that might be negative. And it's important that we are known in our friendships and that we have friends where we can lean in, where we can say, hey, I wonder if I've done something to offend you. And could we talk about that? And to have a friend say, oh, gosh, either yes, you did, or no, I didn't, but tell me what you're concerned about. And to be able to have the back and forth. And that can be really, really scary, especially depending on what you grew up with, how you saw conflict resolution, what happened when people disagreed. And so a lot of people are fighting all of the things in their own background and family dynamics. And it's a scary thing. And I see so many people, again, that will either pull away or just cut friends out. Yeah. That's not healthy. Yeah. That's not what we want to do. And so I just want to encourage all of you to work at your friendships, to lean in, to take a risk, and to kind of trust the journey there, and to see who will jump on board with you.
Our friendships are, to your point, are so key. We can't live out fully the God life without other people, without good friends and good friendships. And they take work and they take time and they take resiliency. And I love what you were saying, Jill, that in a world of rupture's going to happen.
Yep,
that we become people who know how to repair. My wife and I were working through a conflict last night, and it's not friendship, it's a family, but we had to tolerate the discomfort long enough to get to resolution.
We've been married 33 years. We attended the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. Even though we've read books, or attended a few other marriage weekends, this was certainly different and a lot more intensive than initially that we thought.
When you come to intimacy in marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
Was not really sure exactly what to expect, but the idea of learning to really understand intimacy was intriguing. We had been in the same patterns of struggle over and over again.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy in Marriage workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy in Marriage Weekend is July 25th to the 27th in Washington, D.C. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50. 1-800-639-5433.
I would highly recommend it.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Speaking of friendship, we've got Chaka calling in from Los Angeles, listening on KKLA. Thank you, Chaka, for calling in. How can we help you today?
Well, hello. How are you? I was wondering, and it's been very interesting to me to know, how can someone have a relationship with someone of a different religion? How can you have a relationship and grow with someone of a different religion?
Okay, so is this you that we're talking about?
Yes.
So what do you practice?
Well, I practice, I go to church, not on Sunday, I don't go. And I was just wondering, how can you become friends even with someone of a different religion? How do you mix? Doesn't the Bible speak of how can two walk together unless you agree?
Jill?
Well, and so do you have someone specific in mind, Chaka, that you have wanted to befriend, but you come from different...
Have to witness to people and have a class where I do the student end, and it's different people of a different faith as me. And so how can you call someone a different friend of a different religion with you and two walk together unless they agree?
Well, I think, we're called to be in the world, but not of the world. At the same time, if we just kind of surround ourselves just with believers, right? And I'm hearing that you are trying to branch out. Then we just kind of stay really comfortable. And I think, just as Jesus did, he went out and he made friends amongst the biggest sinners. Around, and he didn't just stay with the religiously holy people. And so I think first you focus on what you have in common with a person. People are people. We all have human experiences. We all have similar emotions, regardless of what our world view is or our faith journey. And so, I hear what you're saying on one level. When you are friends with a non-believer, you may not have the same depth spiritually that you would have with a believer, because you just aren't on the same page. And nowadays in this divided country, even if you disagree politically, you might not have the same depth of friendship. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. And sometimes, God can cross all lines. And your willingness to befriend someone who isn't just like you can speak volumes, actually, about your faith and be a living witness.
Yeah, the Bible is full of stories. I think of, the Syrophoenician woman, the Babel. Like, there's so many instances. And by the way, if we had to fully agree with someone to walk with them, my wife and I have a new discussion to have.
Yeah.
So there's not really another human being I could do that with, because we're not going to agree fully on everything. But I think that, if we hold to our own values strongly, we can have affection for other people. We can have friendship and closeness with other people, as long as I don't have to compromise who I am and what I believe. And so, my lifelong closest friend is of a different religion, and that is no religion. And he knows that I'm a person of deep faith, even talking about it on the radio. And so but we work life out together, accepting where each other's at. Now, do I really, really hope that there is a day that he will come to Christ? Absolutely, and pray for that. But I also don't reject him because he's not a Christian. And fortunately, he doesn't reject me because I am. Now, there may be people based on, that hold a different belief system that may be dangerous for us and that we have to set boundaries with. But some of the richest friendships or richest conversations I've had are with people of a different religion that have actually helped deepen my faith, not lessen it.
And I have a really good friend who's Jewish, and it seems like all of her friends are Christians, and we talk openly about faith, and she shares with us, and we share with her, and we, of course, keep praying for her, but at the same time, we have a relationship and a strong relationship because there's an openness there, and there's a mutual respect for each other's journey.
That's a key word there, Jill, respect. Absolutely.
Oh, good. Good.
So what do you think, Chaka?
Well, I think that's a pretty good. It's different also to marry somebody of a different faith that's not the same.
That is very different.
Yep, that is different. I will agree with that.
To be unequally yoked is more difficult and not really what we're called to do as best as possible. But you never know when you're, again, sometimes we have to be Jesus to people instead of just talking at them.
Yes.
And you never know that living witness, what that will do for another person. I mean, I've had other encounters in life with people of different faiths that, are still, we're friends, just like you were talking about. People that extremely different faiths. But there's something in the human connection that draws them back.
Yes.
And people often, see Christ in us without really realizing what it is.
Well, and that's what I hope for, in all of my imperfections, that they can see the love, the truth, the redemption of Christ work itself out, the attraction of Christ in us. Yeah.
Recommendation from the newlife.com store?
I am actually, I was looking at I think Trust would be a good book here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trust by Dr. Henry Cloud. We will send that to you, Chaka. Thank you for calling in today to New Life Live. And now here is Jane, who's listening in Washington, D.C. on WAVA. Welcome, Jane, to New Life Live.
Hello. How's everyone?
We're doing great, thanks.
Good. My question is, how do you forgive your husband when he was constantly cheating, but now he says he's not? But in the past, when he said he wasn't, I still found out he was.
Chris?
Yeah. I think the first thing you do is separate forgive from trust. Those are not synonymous. Those are not the same thing. So right now, whether he is acting out sexually or not, he is untrustworthy. And that seems harsh, but again, it just in what you've already revealed, there doesn't seem to be enough work and enough time and enough real gritty process for your heart to be able to trust him again. And I would say, nor should it. But forgiveness is letting go and letting him go of any retribution that you may need or have towards him. But forgiveness does not constitute relationship. But I would also say this: when we leverage forgiveness to be close to a person who is unsafe, it doubles down the damage.
So is this just a one-time thing, or it's happened several times, you've said?
Several times.
Yeah.
And what have you guys done?
Well, let me just say this.
Go for it, Jill.
He's already proven, Jane, that you can't trust his words.
Yes.
Right? Sometimes he might be telling the truth, but you've also known when he's not telling the truth. So you cannot trust his words, which means all you can trust are his actions. right?
Yeah.
And so that's what you need to see over time. And so, what is his demeanor? How does he admit that he's been a cheater? Has he gotten help? Does he show any remorse? Is he wanting to work on your relationship? Or is he just expecting you to, okay, that's in the past, let's just move forward?
Yes, that's what he has said. It's in the past. Forget it. Stop bringing it up.
Oh, okay.
And I do bring it up when I don't know that he's cheating again, but something will happen that kind of reminds me of the situation, so I bring it up.
Well, Jane, here's the deal. Betrayal trauma is different. And here's the difference. You are being hurt and betrayed, and you don't know it. It's the nature of the trauma that says you're being pained, but you can't know that you're being pained until after the fact. What that does is when it comes to light, it flips everything upside down where you can't trust anything. So then the person who was the betrayer has the burden of constant truth. I mean constant truth. And he hasn't done that. He wants
he's
to
done nothing to repair.
He says, I want to leave it in the past. And it's not in the past. It is right now, right here, because that pain lives inside of you. And the only chance of a real healthy, shot at a marriage moving forward is to do a deep dive into these details that can be really and are really painful. And for him, I'm sure, really shameful and embarrassing. But reality is the raw material of trust. There's no way, and trust is the raw material of healthy relationship.
What do you think, Jane?
I hear you, but I still don't know what to do, because I feel like at this point, for some reason, I'm starting to feel like I'm just ready to end it all.
How long have you been married, Jane?
40 years.
40 years. So 40 years is a huge investment.
Yeah.
But I hear you. It's hard to be with someone that you can't trust. It seems a shame, though, to not at least attempt to do some work. And you might have to tell him, look, this doesn't work for me to have no place to discuss the hurt that has happened in our relationship, to even have understanding, for you to have understanding of what drove him, his hurts in the past, in his life, and for him to understand the impact of his behavior on you. Any relationship needs that. And for one person just to decide that there's going to be no communication about such a huge issue is not okay. That isn't a relationship. And so I think that I would let him know in moving forward, you need a place, either in a counselor's office, at the marriage intensive weekend, him, looking at these issues as to why he broke the marital vows, and what was going on with him. You need a little more from him, because emotionally, it sounds like you are just, kind of dying here in just survival mode, and not really living out the 40 years of relationship that you've invested.
And I do believe that if he's unwilling to do any of this work, then you have a different decision.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But sometimes, as long as he can get you to just, stop talking, then he can just stay, keeping all of his guilt and and shame as a secret from everyone, and just kind of continue on. But he's not really thriving either, because that is no way to live at all. I think maybe sending the book Worthy of Her Trust.
Yes, for sure.
So that for you to look at, Jane, so you have an idea of what you should expect and to give to him, so that he could at least start by looking at what experts have gone through and suggest for how to move forward when there's been this major betrayal in a relationship.
Jane, stay on the phone and we'll send you a copy of Worthy of Her Trust, which is available in the newlife.com store. And we also want to let you know about some of these intensives that are coming up. The Intimacy and Marriage Intensive for you and your husband. That begins next weekend in Washington, D.C. You live in Washington, D.C.
Oh, just
you guys really
register right now.
Jane, you gotta go.
You got to go. You can just walk there if you want to. You can get the details about it at newlife.com. For your husband, we recommend the Every Man's Battle Intensive, and that is in August in Cincinnati. And then also for you, there's the Restore Healing After Betrayal Intensive. That's in November in Washington, D.C. You can get all the details about these at newlife.com or by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE. But just for calling in today, Jane, we're going to send you Worthy of Her Trust. We got lots more calls coming up here on New Life Live. Thank you so much for listening today, and thank you for watching as well. And make sure to share the program with your friends and neighbors. We love to get more interaction here. God bless you guys. Hang on.
I went to Every Man's Battle in 2012. My sexual integrity was not what it should have been. I sought out affairs, whether physical or emotional. Until I came to Every Man's Battle, I didn't understand that that would never fill that void.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity. Impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
The shame and guilt was overwhelming.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity and purity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
You will discover what the true root of your pain is, and you will discover how to overcome.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Dallas, Texas, July 18th through the 20th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Use the discount code NLL to save $50.
Every Man's Battle saved my life.
Club New Life changes lives.
You guys came along into my life in 2022. That was a really, really difficult year of my life.
You can help New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people by joining Club New Life today.
I began to really process a lot of things that I've needed to for a long time, and y'all were a very big part of that.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
I came out of it having never experienced anything like that, and y'all were there.
Join today and help continue the message of hope to a troubled world.
I knew I had to keep going, and I joined Club New Life, and y'all have been the resource that has now been a light for my wife and I.
Go to newlife.com/CNL, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places.
Keep doing what you do because it makes a difference.
newlife.com/CNL. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
If you're new to recovery, perhaps you don't yet know about liferecoverygroups.com. First of all, Life Recovery is a 12-step program based on a set of biblical principles in addiction treatment that outline a course of action for tackling problems including drugs and alcohol, overeating, sex addiction, and more. So liferecoverygroups.com is where to go to start or join a group, browse articles, connect with episodes of the Life Recovery Today TV program and podcast, and so much more. Every one of us can benefit from a life recovery experience, as we recently talked about here on New Life Live. So check out liferecoverygroups.com. Here is Patty in Long Beach listening on KKLA. Welcome, Patty, to New Life Live.
Oh, thank you so much for taking my call. I'm going to try to make this brief, but I have so much to say. So I have been dealing with my daughter. I'm sorry, she's 21 years old. But I just don't know how to handle her behavior anymore. When she was a teenager, she would get upset, and I thought maybe it's just her teen years. And I consulted with the school psychologist, and, she went, and the psychologist would kind of check in with me every so often. Couldn't tell me, of course, what they spoke about, but, it seemed like everything was okay. When she was 19, she became pregnant with a 43-year-old man who already had 3 3 kids. And, she wanted to keep the baby, which I was okay with. I help her. She stays with me. She's not, the father comes and visits the baby, but she's not living with him.
Mm-hmm.
But her behavior, now trickles down to the baby, where she will yell at the baby for no reason and says things like, stop doing this. You act like you're new to this. And, I've had to step in a few times and just let her know, what, she's a baby. She's absolutely new to this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to be patient with her. And so one of the things was I asked her to go to counseling, because I felt that postpartum might be a thing after she had the baby. She agreed to it, and she is going, but she only goes once twice a month, and it's about a 30-minute Zoom meeting. And, I don't know what they discuss. I mean, I'm sure when you're in these sessions, you pretty much just go over what she tells them and not what we see, and she may not see what we see. But just to give you an example of this morning, her and her older sister had arguments before about when we all do things as families, like we don't take her in consideration. And so we said, what, from now on, we'll go over with you, we'll talk with you, even though we always have taken her in consideration, but she just doesn't voice things very well. And so we talk, my oldest daughter will check in with her and she'll say, what, I'm going to take the kids to the park. Do you want to come? And she'll say yes. But the other day, this morning, yesterday morning, she woke up and she left with the baby's dad. And, and I said to her this morning, I said, you didn't talk to your sister about the plans, because I think she had planned something to go with you, or, not sure. And then she got upset and she said, what, you and her have this team that I'm so sick of. And this happens every single time.
So, Patty, what is your main question for us today? We want to make sure we get you the help you need.
Like, how do I deal with her attitude? What could this be? I just don't know. I don't know what to say to her. Everything I say is wrong.
Well, Patty, just know this, that you are in what's called a double bind, that there's a no-win situation for you. Because your daughter, maybe for good reason, I don't know, has in her back pocket the card of victimhood. That she feels wronged by the world, wronged by you, wronged by everyone else. But that, ironically, is the very thing that gives her power. And every time people dance around her being wronged and protesting, then she gets to scapegoat and do whatever she wants. And so that's a dance and a pattern that just starts repeating itself over and over and over, and the hurt and frustration and anger only continue to increase. We know that there is something in your daughter, and I'm not here to judge it, but I'm here to hopefully show that there is a great disruption inside of her. Where she'd have a relationship, including having a child with a 43-year-old married man at 19 years old. And I'm not trying, again, I'm just saying that, and then all of this other behavior around it.
And it does seem like she blames the family, blames others for her choices.
Yes, and
the consequences.
And for whatever reason, can't take responsibility for herself or her own actions. That makes her a dangerous person. A relationally harmful person.
Well, and can't manage her emotions even with a baby that is hers.
Exactly.
Right.
And so you may have to look at ways to protect that baby. What I would suggest as the next form of intervention is that you go into couples counseling with your daughter. Because you're looking at her going half an hour 2 times a month to correct a great disruption. That ain't going to happen. But you need to manage yourself, Patty, around your daughter. And that's really, really, really hard. And that's why I would invite her into couples therapy for you guys together.
You can even do under the guise, I want to learn how to better connect with you. Because obviously I'm doing some things that are upsetting. And I want to hear you're upset with a third party.
We'll continue our conversation with Patty, and we'll get to as many more of these calls as we can today on New Life Live. By the way, Patty, thank you for calling in, and everyone else too. Thank you for telling your friends about New Life Live. When you're talking to someone and they present something that's going on in their life and they're not sure what to do, thank you for telling them about New Life Ministries. They can find out more about us at newlife.com. We're also on social media. We'll be back here on New Life Live.
I was stuck. I was so stuck. 27 years married. My husband addicted to pornography for the majority of our marriage. I was very isolated and didn't really know which way to turn.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we can still be restored. We are not stuck because someone else made a decision. That God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our life. Our wellness does not hinge on another person's decision.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Washington, D.C. November 7th to the 9th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50.
You guys helped me figure out what was going on.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 Steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
And let us now talk to Linda in Fullerton, who's listening on KKLA. Welcome to New Life Live, Linda.
Well, thank you for taking my call. And my question was, I've been married almost 50 years here in a few months, but over the last couple of years, I've been having a problem with my husband. It seems like he's very combative. I don't know where it's coming from, but I feel like we just keep butting heads, kind of bumping up against each other.
Linda, is this new? Is this new in your long relationship?
I'm going to say the last 2 years.
Okay. And how old is your husband?
He's 70. We're both 73.
Okay. And has he had any major life changes?
Oh, yeah.
Has he retired or?
Yeah, our lives have changed, really big from about 2.5 years ago. We've had a lot of family issues that we've been trying to help, our daughters take care of. We had a daughter come down with a really rare form of cancer, and so we sold our house in Northern California, put our stuff in storage, and came down here because we're like 15 minutes from her, to help her go to her appointments, to be here to support her through her journey. And it seems like our family has grown even closer together. I mean, I see all the blessings in it, but it seems like, and he's really, really good with them. I see how much he's changed with them, how much closer he is with, we have 3 daughters. But it seems like with him and I just feel like if I mention something for him that he should do, he'll do the opposite. Or sometimes I feel like he will sort of bait me into, he'll tell me a problem he has, and I'll tell him what I think about it, and he'll say, well, why would I do that? Well, why would I, so I don't feel he's very happy at this point either,
And have you asked him about that, Linda? You know?
Yes.
Okay.
I have. Yeah, I have, because I feel like we're in a situation that we're pretty much here living our lives for, help my daughter live. Mm-hmm. And we're not really taking care of our own lives. We go up and we look because we do want to move back to Northern California, mm-hmm. we will look for a property.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And at the last minute, he will usually, yeah, that's it. And then at the last minute, he'll back out.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts, Chris?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. I do think that it's important to get some neurological testing done to see if there's any cognitive decline going on, because irritability is like the number one sign.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not here to say it's that. Obviously, I have no jurisdiction, that's way
Mm-hmm.
outside of my scope, but that's what I would assess for that for sure. And anytime there is major transition, there is this thing called withdrawal. I'm using an addiction term, but I see it all the time, and that comes with irritability and that internal disruption that life doesn't feel okay. Maybe he doesn't have anyone to blame, and you just happen to be in the way.
You're his safest person.
Yeah, safest person to protest with.
Right, and how does he handle emotion and feelings? You guys moved here to deal with a daughter who has cancer. That has got to feel like a helpless, powerless
monumental,
position. And if he's been a dad with 3 daughters that was kind of always the one who could help and do things, and this is something that's bigger than him, that could also cause a lot of irritability and the discomfort of facing that on a daily basis.
The helplessness of being dad when your daughter is in this condition and you can't do much about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there might be a lot going on inside of him.
Mm-hmm.
Any resources from the newlife.com store that we can send to Linda for calling in today? Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I think Howie Love.
Okay.
It would be a great resource. I would also, it's coming up quick, but if they can find themselves in Washington, D.C. for the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop.
It might be a good break.
I think it would be
just
huge.
to kind of do some fine-tuning, because it sounds like they've had a good life up to this point.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we need to do some fine-tuning and reconnect in a way on neutral territory.
And it can open, as a guy, we get our stuff locked up inside of us pretty easily, and we don't know how to get out of it. And so whether that be a counselor or whether that be experience of the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop, it unlocks it. And oh my goodness, how much freedom that comes along with that, and that we can return back to our better selves.
Excuse me, the Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is next weekend, July 25th in Washington, D.C. So stay on the phone, and we will get you more information about that. And we're going to send you How We Love, which is also the book that we wanted to send to our previous caller, Patty, but I forgot to mention that. Joe in Los Angeles, also listening on KKLA. Welcome to New Life Live.
Thank you for taking my call. God bless you all. And my question, let me see if I could sum it up. If I can give you just a quick background. My wife has just been recently, maybe about a month ago, diagnosed with cancer. And we've been married for many years, and maybe about going on 30 years. We do have a 17-year-old and maybe a daughter who's 25 that live. We all live together here. And, to say the least, it's been way more than overwhelming. The fear. Fear is like is the outstanding thing in the household right now. It feels like a dark time. And but nevertheless, we're getting through it day by day. But to get to my question on this, am I doing things right as the leader of the house? Because sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough, and in the sense, am I doing the things that are going to bring healing for her? Medically. I am taking her to the doctor. I'm going with every single doctor appointment. And as far as the emotional support and stuff while we're here in the house, at times I tend to overwhelm her with, hey, why don't you take this? Let's take this.
So Joe, this is similar in that this is another, overwhelming, as you said, situation where you don't have control, right? You're powerless in this against cancer. And so I love your heart of wanting to be there and wanting to look at, what can I do to help my family emotionally? Sometimes there's a tendency to overdo on the physical, the tangible tasks, because that feels productive and it feels like we're doing something, versus I love the fact that you're going to appointments, because some of it is just the being with and maybe not talking so much, not peppering her with everything that you could do for her, but maybe allow her to just talk about how she's feeling. What does it feel like to be going through treatment? What does it feel like you're a month in to having cancer? What thoughts go through your head? What do you think about our daughters?
Yeah, and I want you to lead Joe in a completely different way. As Joe was saying, you're not in charge or in control of the physical healing process, but you can be a great leader in the emotional, relational process in the home. And so what that looks like is again, not overwhelming people, but I'm going to give you 3 questions as prompts to talk with as a family.
Well, with wife and daughters.
Yes.
Daughter individually.
Each child, the whole family. And the 3 prompts are this. What are you afraid of? What do you hope for? And the last one is, what do you need?
No, that would be directed to both daughter, son, and my wife?
Yes. And yourself.
What are the 3 questions again?
What are you afraid of?
What are you afraid of? What are you hopeful for? And what do you need? And that will open up unbelievable amounts of connection and conversation. And you will become the person that your family needs you to be for them in the moment. And vice versa. They will be that for you as well.
What do you think, Joe?
I think those are key points I do need to bring up, or I should touch on.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for calling in today. What's a good resource that we can send to Joe and his family from the newlife.com store?
Oh, that's a good question. I think the devotional of 100 Days from Fear and Anxiety.
Okay. Yeah, that is a good one. 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety. We will send that to you, Joe. Thank you for calling in today here on New Life Live. We're going to take more calls when we come back. Thank you so much for telling your friends about New Life Live. We are here for you. And got more calls coming right up. Stand by.
Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
is.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Your generosity helps support everything we do here at New Life Ministries, and it makes a difference to those who can't see a way forward. That's where Sylvia was. Here's what she wrote. Before getting connected to New Life, I was suicidal, hopeless, angry, and anxious. But you've transformed my life, and God has lifted my heavy burden. Perhaps you were once like Sylvia. And you know what? There are several other Sylvias and Stevens and Samanthas and Sergios that we want to help. So help us help them. Make a one-time gift or become a Club New Life member at newlife.com or by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE or text NLM to 28950. Let's go to Carmen, who's listening to us in Rockfield, Maryland on WAVA. Today's been like a West Coast versus East Coast kind of day. KKLA versus WAVA. That's where all of our calls have come from, it seems like. Carmen, welcome to New Life Live.
Thank you.
Yeah, how can we help you?
Okay. I have a brother that is in another country, and he's having problems. He's had problems with alcohol most of his life. He is 67 years old, and so he is beyond help. So I'm checking places where he could go. There's 2 places very close to him. So I'm just seeing that he is beyond help. So
what does that mean, Carmen? He's beyond help.
He is getting drunk.
So he needs help.
He needs help. He doesn't know what he's doing anymore.
Okay.
He doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he doesn't really care. So I asked him today, I said, what do you want to do? And he just stays quiet. He doesn't say much. And I have asked him before. And I did hear him talking to a friend, asking him to please pray for him and that he wants help.
Good.
But he doesn't tell me that he wants to help. And so I'm away, so I'm far away from him. So, and I get phone calls saying, your brother is in the street and you have to take him home.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did find a couple places that I feel like it's a good place. They're Christian-based, and also and I'm just thinking, today I talked to him, he's drinking already.
Yeah. So Carmen, it's really scary to be hearing, to be people reaching out to you when you're far away in another country, kind of expecting you perhaps to do something. I like the fact that you have, done some research and maybe found some places, and that perhaps your brother might be willing, but I also hear you saying he can't really do this on his own. So I wonder, are there people where he is at, the people perhaps contacting you, that you could have kind of be your arms and feet and help to take him to a program?
Yes, I did. He actually has a person that helps him clean and cooks, and I asked her, can you please take him? And he doesn't want to go when he is okay, but then he'll drink later. So and so I just feel that even when he's drunk, yes.
Yeah. So he's under the influence, and we need to take that phrase very, very seriously. The first step in the 12 steps is we came to admit that we're powerless. He's powerless. He cannot stop drinking. That means you're doubly powerless. You can't stop him from drinking, but you can do something. And when we're trying to get that person who's heavy into their addiction into that next step, what we usually need is someone that has high levels of expertise. And I would highly, even if he's in a different country, interventionists can help you develop a plan. And that's what I would do first, is I would contact an interventionist. And I know that here at New Life, we do have interventionists that we are connected to, that we can connect you to them. Because this is too big of an issue for you to take on. It's too big of an issue for a house cleaner to take on. It really does need it needs professional help. The other aspect of it is I can hear how you've been impacted by his addiction. You need help as well. And that's why I would really... go ahead.
I had trouble to go see him and to spend some time with him, and I have asked him, please, let's do something about it. And so I spoke to someone who he's telling me I can go get him. He's the one from this place where I will be sending him. And I actually visited the place.
You've done a lot.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter how much you've done, right? It matters the condition that he's in. But part of what right now, but hear me out just for a second, Carmen. Yes. The more you try to do this on your own, the more it's going to work against you, not for you. And so I can't encourage you enough to get into your own Al-Anon program.
You need the support while you're doing this. I'm glad you've contacted the place, and if they have an interventionist or someone that will go and meet with him and physically take him, that's great. But in that process, it's going to be hard for you emotionally. And so Chris is talking about you having support people around you that know how to deal with alcoholics, or have been in relationship themselves and are in a process of recovery, so that you can be strong enough when your brother calls and pleads and begs and wants to go back to his old ways.
That's okay. I have prepared myself, so I talked to this person, and he is willing to go get him and take him. So tomorrow he's going to find himself there. And yes, he's going to want to talk to me. And they are probably going to say, no, you cannot speak to your sister. You are here, and we're going to try to help you. And so, so I'm already...
Well, and he's... and good. And this is why you need help. He's going to call you a week from now. And he's going to tell you how unbelievably incompetent those people are, and how terrible the treatment is.
And how bad the place is, and how everybody's so much worse than him.
Exactly. And I just want you to know that will be the withdrawal talking, not the... Okay.
Yeah. I've been to the place. I did my research. When I was there about a month ago, I went there. I did all my research. I saw the people. I prayed for those young people, and I met with the mothers. And so I did a lot.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
Yeah, and I just think that next step is get into your own recovery, get the support that you need, because addiction is contagious, and we all get the contagion.
But way to go in being proactive, Carmen. And you have sought help and treatment for your brother, and that is the most you can do, really, is to help him, and then he's got to do it from there.
Absolutely.
Is there a resource from the store that we can send to Carmen? What would you guys suggest? While you're looking through that, I will remind everyone that we love helping you here when you call in to New Life Live, but we know that sometimes deeper one-on-one help is needed to fully work through issues. We have a nationwide network of Christian counselors and coaches ready to help you do the deep work of addressing the past or current struggles. We can put you in touch with somebody in our network when you call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. All right, Dr. Jill, Chris Williams, what did you decide?
Life Recovery Bible.
Yep.
Life Recovery Bible. Perfect. We're going to get that to you, Carmen. Thank you so much for calling in, and we'll talk to you guys again next time here on New Life Live.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.